Hello everyone. So today we'll be solving the Leetcode daily problem, that is element appearing more than 25% in sorted array. So what is the problem statement? Given an integer array sorted in non-decreasing order, it means the smaller elements will appear first, then we have elements in the increasing order. There is exactly one integer. So there is one integer in the array that occurs more than 25% of the time, and we have to return that integer. So to understand this, suppose we have 100 elements in an array, then there will be one element, only one element that must be appearing more than 25 times. That is what this question is trying to say. So let's take this example 1, 2, 2, 6, 6, 6, 7, 10. Here we can clearly see that 6 is appearing for 4 times. So what will be the 25% of this array? It has got size 9, and if we divide 9 by 4, then it comes out to 2 point something, but we will take the integer, that is 2. So there is only one element which is more than 2, that is 6. Similarly, in this, the clear winner is 1, we can see. So let's go directly into this solution. I have three approaches, basically two approaches, but second and third approach is little bit different in the implementation part. So let's directly dive into the first approach. Let's understand how I'm solving it. So to solve it initially, the one thing has come into my mind that I have to work with the frequency of the numbers. So somehow if I record the frequency and if then I check the frequency, should there will be only one element whose frequency will be more than this quarter. So we'll be calculating the quarter for every input array. That will be length divided by 4. So this particular array, the length is 9, and we will be dividing it by 4. So we will get the 25%, that is 2. So now there will be only one element whose frequency will be more than 2. So for that, I am taking a hash map, and hash map has the property that it will have unique keys. Okay, so for 1, I have 1 as single key and it is appearing only once. Then 2, it is appearing twice. Then 6, it is appearing 4 times. Then 7, it is appearing once. And 10 is also appearing once. So then I can clearly check after iterating over the hash map, or in between also after setting these values, we can check whether the value of this particular number is greater than the quarter. And as soon as we'll get that point, we'll get that value, we will directly return from uh, that function. We have got our element. So this is first approach. Now I will show you the code for this first approach. So I have three approaches. I have already coded them because otherwise it will be a very longer video, and I don't want to make it that long because it's not that difficult problem. It's an easy problem. I will make you explain line by line. I have taken a variable that is length, that is array dot length. It is the length of the given array. And then we have the quarter. So that will be the length divided by 4. Then I have defined the frequency map. So that is the map which has integer as keys and integer as values. Then I'm iterating over this entire array and checking and then putting the particular key at every spot, and the value will be I'm getting. If it is already there, then I'll get it by this method get or default. Otherwise, I will set it to 0 and then add 1. So if I'll getting it for first time, then this method will be returning me 0 and I'll add the 1 to it. So my suppose in the case of 1, so 1 will be the key and 1 will be the value. Then in the next step, I'll be checking it that whether this current element current element's frequency is more than the quarter. If it is more than the quarter, then I will simply return this is the my element which is more than 25% in this sorted array. So this is approach one. Now let's move towards the second approach. So this is okay. I have not shown you that whether this code is working or not. I'll directly submit it. I've already tested these code snippets. So you can see it has got accepted, but it is not a very fast solution. Okay, it is the order of one solution, order of n solution. It's a linear solution, but still it is not fast. And we are using some extra space. We are storing the elements in a map. So our space complexity is also order of n. So this is not a fast solution. Now we need to improvise. We need to work on our approach. So for that, I have got the second approach. Let's move towards that. So this is my second approach. I'll copy code for it. What is happening? Okay, fine. Let's copy and paste at this place. Fine. So to understand this approach, I'm using some pointers in it. So as we know, the array is sorted, right? So for that, I have drawn a simple dry run for this solution. So first we'll go through the dry run. So initially I'm iterating, I'm taking two pointers, that is one is current and one is previous. And initially these pointers will be at 0th index. So in the first iteration, I'll be setting this current index again to this position that when the loop I'm running, which is from 0. You can see I'm running this loop from 0 and I'm setting the current to array of I, that is the current index, right? And then I'll be checking it. So side by side, we'll go through the code also. So I have written this condition because suppose if the length of array is already 1, then we don't have, then there will be a single element and that single element will be a clear winner. So I'll be returning that element. So it will save our lot of time. Just a, mm, just a input validation kind of thing it is. And then, so we are here, we are in our loop. And in the first index, we have current equals array of I. So let's go for the same example, which I have drawn here. So in the first iteration, story will be like this. Our current and previous will be pointing towards the first element. Okay, because my previous is already set to array of 0. And in the first iteration, current will also again got set to array of 0 because I value of I will be 0 here. So no problem. In the next code, in this condition, our current, if our current is not equals to previous, then this code block will get executed. But our current is equals to previous here because current is also 0 and previous is also uh, pointing to 0, that is 1, right? And I am taking one counter here. So I will update this counter and it will become 1. It means the current element is present at least for one time up till now. And then in the next line, I will check whether this count is more than quarter because that will be the condition where from where I have to return. That will be the condition from where I have to return. Okay, fine. So I'll go towards the second iteration. In the second iteration, my current will now point towards 2 and my previous is still pointing towards 1. So now this code block will get executed. Now current is not equals to previous. Then what will I do? I will set the previous to the current. That is, now my previous will move to second in this iteration only. And I will set the count to 0 because the last element, which was 1, is now over. Now we have to start counting this element from scratch, this 2. Okay, so count plus plus, it will increase from 0 to 1. And now I'll check whether the count is greater than quarter, and it is not. So this thing will not get executed and we will move towards the next iteration. So in the next iteration, our current will move from 2 to uh, from second index to from first index to second index, right? Zeroth index, first index, second index. And now I'll check whether my current is not equals to previous, but they are equal. So it will not get this code block will not get executed, and my this line will get executed. That count will be incremented. Now count will become 2. Okay, fine. And this count is not greater than quarter, because quarter is also 2 and count is also 2. So they are equal. So this block will not get executed. And I will move towards the next iteration. In the next iteration, my current will move to the fourth index, that is 6. And my previous is 2. So now my current is not equal to previous. So what I'll be doing, I'll be updating my counter to 0 and I'll be setting my previous to the current. That is, this code block will get executed, right? Okay. So now, and I'll check that whether my count is greater than quarter, because the 6 has appeared for the first time. This code block has got executed. So count is now 0, not 0, 1. It will get updated here 1. And it is this condition will return false. So this there will be no operation inside this block, and we'll move towards the next iteration. In the next iteration, our current will move towards 6 and our previous will be at the 6 only. So they are equal. Then we can this condition will get this skipped and our counter will increase to 1. And this condition will again return false, because count is also 2 and quarter is also 2. Okay. Now we move towards the next iteration. Now this current will be at 6 and previous will be at 6. So they both are equal. This condition will again got skipped. Our counter will increase to 3. And this thing will be now true. Our count is 3 and quarter is 2. So this function will return the current. What is current? That is 6. So our answer will be returned 6. Okay. So this thing will never happen, because we will return from here only. Here our counter will be 3 and this thing will not happen. So this is our second approach. Fine. So let's submit this also. I think it's quite easy. And it is fast. It is taking 1 millisecond of time, and it is beating 64.4% more users. Now let's move to our final approach. And I think that is the best approach to solve this problem. I'll delete this code from here. And let's move towards the third approach. This is approach 3. So in the third approach, what I'll be doing is, let me show you the code also. Then explaining this will be much better. Copy from here. Let's go back to the editor and paste it. Fine. Okay, bit of formatting. And we are okay. Good to go. Fine. So in this, we have quarter as before, that is length divided by 4. And we are iterating over the entire array, and not entire array, array dot length minus quarter. So we will not iterate up till entire array. And then we are checking whether the current element is equals to the current element plus the element at the current index plus quarter. So to understand this thing, let's move towards the pictorial explanation. Here, our quarter is 2. And in the first iteration, my first iteration, I will be at 1. And I plus quarter will be at, quarter is 2, I is 0. So 0 plus 2 will be 2. So this will be here 2. So array of I will be 1 and array of I plus q will be 2. That is this thing. Array of I will be 1 and array of I plus q will be 2. and this will return false. So we will move towards the next iteration. In the next iteration, our I is 2 and our I plus Q will be 6. So uh, our I is here 1 and I plus Q will be 3. So this is third index, right? And they are not equal. So again, this will be false and we will move towards the next iteration. We are not keeping track of anything because we know once once we will one this one these two values will only be equal when the element is present for more than 25% in the given array. That's why. That's why we are checking these two elements. In the next iteration, our I will move to 2 and I plus 2, that is 2 plus 2, 4. So it will be at 6. And again, this condition will be false because 2 is not equals to 6. We will move towards the next iteration. In the next iteration, I will be 6 and element at ith index will be 6 and I plus q index will be 6. So now this condition will match. It means we have reached the point. This is the element which is for sure present for more than 25%. So we will return this index. And this we are returning 0 in all the approaches here because this is the demand of the method. It is it wants int to be returned, and if we are returning inside the if element, then this code doesn't know that uh, for sure we will be not coming up till here. Fine. So let's submit this one also and see how much improved it is, because we can see the code is very less, just 2 lines of code, and it is beating 100% of users. The time complexity is order of n only because we are uh, iterating the entire array, but it is better than the last approach because practically if we see, it won't iterate all the elements. Before that, it will get the answer because we are iterating just array dot length minus quarter till here only. But theoretically, we'll say it is order of n only, and space complexity is order of 1 because we are not using any extra space. So this is it for this problem. It is faster. I hope you have understood this, and I will see you in the next one. Till then, keep growing, keep studying. And if you like this video, then share with your friends and subscribe to the channel. And all the best. Bye bye.